our video. Today we're going to talk about phenomenology. Our group is conformed by Tamis Lopez, Monica Diaz, Daisy Batista, and Nora Gonzalez. Let's start.
First of all, we are going to define what phenomenological approach is. It's an approach to social research and is sometimes presented as an alternative to positivism. Due to this approach has provided useful for researchers in areas such as health, education, and business, which want to understand the thinkings of patients, pupils, and employees. In other words, phenomenology basically describes the essence of specific types of personal experience and also understands things through the eye of someone else. On the other hand, it is things an approach that emphasizes in description, interpretation, and agency. Also, the phenomenological research generally deals with people's perception or meanings, people's attitudes and beliefs, and the last one, people's feelings and emotions. However, phenomenology is an approach that focuses on how life is experienced, right? That is why phenomenology is associated with humanistic research, using qualitative methodologies approaches that place special emphasis of the individual's views and personal experience. Well, as I said before, phenomenology differs from positivism. But what positivism is? Positivism is a philosophical theory stating that positive knowledge is based on individual phenomena and their properties and relations.
Okay, now I'm going to talk about phenomenology and its focuses. So, as the reality is constructed by a social way with its participants, phenomenology says that there are multiple realities and people see things differently. There are alternative realities and realities that vary from situation to situation, culture to culture. So, that's why we say that there are so many points of view all over the world, and that's why phenomenology tries to explain that there there are multiple realities, multiple truths, because we all have a different point of view, so we all construct our single reality. Now I'm going to give you a little conclusion of it. Phenomenology contrasts the positivistic approaches of the assumption of one reality. What positivism says is that there are only one reality, one truth, and phenomenology says that there are multiple realities. So, positivism and phenomenology are different for that because one says that there are, there are only one reality and the other says that there are multiples. And and phenomenology says as well that every alternative version of reality is valid. So as you see the reality, it is, and it is true, true for you. So it is a good, it is valid. It is a good alternative of reality, and is valid because that follows your thoughts and your ideas. Phenomenology focuses on the social construction of reality too, and it says that social life is constructed by its participants, and people are agents who interpret their experiences to make a reality of it. Phenomenology focuses on how life is experienced, and its objective is not to explain the causes of a phenomenon, but to provide a description of the experiences of those involved in that phenomenon. In other words, it doesn't try to explain the the phenomenon itself, but it tries to describe how the people involved in that phenomenon experience that moment of his life. That's why we say experiences are connected to phenomenology and are its main point. Because basically, phenomenology focuses on those experiences that are raw and haven't been analyzed and theorized. It prefers to concentrate on getting a clear picture of the things experienced by people. So, it wants to say that phenomenology only focuses and only investigate those phenomena that are not being analyzed yet, because it wants to portray a clear picture of that phenomenon. As I said before, phenomenology only concentrates on those experiences that are raw, that haven't been analyzed yet. So that's why they see things through the eyes of others, because phenomenology task is not to interpret and analyze experiences of those involved, but to present them in a way that is faithful to the original. So it wants to say that you will not analyze or interpret the data you collected. No, you're what you're going to do is to project that information in the way it is. So they need to develop the ability of seeing things through the eyes of others, to provide a description that portrays how the situation is experienced, the situation itself, so they're not going to change anything. An example of it could be your daily routine. You do some things daily, and let's think of an example. Well, you are every single day you wake up and then go and drink a coffee. But a sudden change of it could be that you don't have coffee, so you cannot drink it. So your daily routine is affected by that change. That's what phenomenology tries to study. How do you do and what do you do to cope with that sudden change? What do you do to go through that change and continue with your life? Phenomenology focuses on everyday world as well. And here it studies the daily routine of people and concerns about how they can get through the day and how this is affected by sudden changes. For example, what it tries to do is how can you manage some changes that happen in your daily routine? How can you get through the day with those changes? How can you manage and how can you cope with it?
What are the advantages of phenomenology? The first one is cheapness. This kind of research are very cheap because you're going to be working in places like hospitals, schools, so there you're going to be using a lot of money. You're going to have a low budget that is going to help you because you're not going using a lot of things or materials. You're going to be talking with people. The second advantage is experiences and interesting stories. This kind of research allows you to be involved or to be involved in what people think and what are their experiences about the topic. Um, they also are going to share with you some experiences, some interesting stories that are going to help you. The third advantage is deal with complex phenomena. You're going to be always listening to people, to their experiences, to what they think, how they feel. So that's why this is going to help you to have like a more complexity of the phenomena because you're going to be always like you're going always receiving details and many things that maybe are like hidden, but Some people want to share with you because they consider that those things or those characteristics are really important. So, there is another advantage, which is humanistic style of research. This kind of research is very humanistic because you're going to be always hearing or listening a lot of experiences and the feelings that people have about some things that are related to what you're working. So they are going always like showing you the reality of their life. So that's why it's really humanistic because you're always like showing the respect. Because for example, if there is a person that has that has lived a lot of problems in his life or her life, and she's going to be sharing that with you, or he is going to share those things with you, you're going to be like really impressed, and you're going to show your respect to those people. What are the disadvantages of phenomenology? The first one is lack scientific rigor. This is because you're going to be more based on what are the opinions, what are the point of view. You're going to be more based on how do people feel about something. You're going to have like some some scientific um, some scientific guides or books that are going to help you. So some research that people have done before. That's that's something that is going to help you. But in this kind of research, the most important thing is that it includes a lot of subjectivity. This kind of research are very subjective. It means that it is more interested on the opinions, the feelings, the how it is affecting the people that are living that situation. There is another disadvantage, and it is description and no analysis. This means that you're going to be describing, people are going to be describing, your participants are going to be describing all the time their experiences, their life, their situations. So you're not going to be analyzing. You're not going to be like really involved and the analysis and those things. You're going to be more concentrated in the description that people gives you and how those descriptions can help you to create your own description about the whole situation. And the last one, the last disadvantage, is generalization. This means that you're going to be you're going to be concluding, you're going to be making conclusions about what people told you, what people said, how people felt, but you're not going to be like analyzing. That's the point. That you're going to be always making general ideas about all the information that they give you, because that's a lot of information, details. So you're going to generalize it because you're not going to have like enough time to complete all and every idea that people get.
When it comes to the matter of how phenomenologists do the research, a key characteristic of the approach is its emphasis on describing authentic experiences rather than directing their attention to explanations and analysis of experiences in an attempt to discover why they occur. Phenomenologists focus instead on trying to represent relevant experiences in a way that is as faithful. The researcher's role is not to act as an editor for the way people explain their experiences, nor it is to impose an artificial order by trying to remedy any apparent logical inconsistencies. Types of phenomenology. Existential studies concrete human existence, including our experience or free choice or action in concrete situations. Hermeneutic structure and interpretation of texts which focuses on language and communication. And transcendental focus on essential meaning of individual experiences.
Thank you so much.